Oh yes, my Straight Talk family, it's time that we keep moving on, and time for me to say greetings to the entire world, and just that time to say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis, and good night to the entire Caribbean region. And to my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian and Division diaspora, I know that some of you are in Africa, there's some of you in Europe, there's some of you in Asia, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I'm at liberty to say good morning. I'm also at liberty to say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for the first timers, we do get first timers, I know, each time, and we thank those who share the link. And because of your sharing of that link, we do get first timers, and we want to welcome them and to inform them, first timers, that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free, underlines free expressions on all issues of national, regional, and international interests, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On this program, you have an opportunity to express yourselves freely, and we try in the process to raise the level of national, regional, and international consciousness. We try to raise the level of national, regional, and international discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And as your host, I continue to pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. And I'm at all times reminded of the words, an excerpt from a favorite hymn of mine: we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, and bringing all those evil things to light. So let's seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. So my Straight Talk family, let me inform you that absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. We never tried to make it more interesting, neither by omission or by exaggeration. We are not about sensationalism. We are not about creating excitement, because we may have to do that at the expense of accuracy, and we are sticklers of the truth. We lean on the facts, as it's my bounden duty to present what I call the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance, integrity, and morality, and all that goes with those words. Whether in St. Kitts, Nevis, whether in the entire region, or whether in the world, wherever, because we are joined with people all around the Federation. We are joined with people all around the world. Some we know, and some we have met. Some we may never ever meet physically, and some we may never ever get to know personally. But we will agree, and at times we will disagree, because we are a different people, and we entertain a diversity of views, I call it, and because we're different people, and that's fine. But what will trouble me, if ever we start to become disagreeable? So let's, my Straight Talk family, thank Almighty God nonetheless for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. And welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link. You bring us first-timers, please continue to do so. And I must always remind you, and in particular inform the first-timers, that we are a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails, and if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your screens. If you are one who like what I call the cloak of anonymity, you like to hide behind your keyboard. Someone gave me a lecture via email just last program, said I refuse to read their email. Nothing so far from the truth, because we don't censor anything unless you're libelous. There's no censorship here whatsoever, because Straight Talk is always on the edge. So if you like the cloak of anonymity, our email access is there. Just be respectful and just be careful. Straight Talk is also heard live on Alexa. Alexa, if you have that app, just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. And we thank the owner for providing access for us at a nominal cost, and we are grateful for that. And as I say cost, there's some of you who have made donations to support our efforts here on Straight Talk. And for that, I say a big, big thank you. I must also reassure you that no matter the size of your contribution, please don't stop. It helps us to continue this important service, a public service as it is. And others who may wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screen to access the payment form. Is a very, very simple process, very confidential as well. Takes no time, none whatsoever. So thank you again for your support and for helping us to keep this dialogue alive. I must always welcome my Straight Talk Junior Brigade. Young Dwayne, Tristan, Jasmine, Shama, Kevin, Young Rue, Jamal, Travis Travon, my grandson Neema, and his good friend Soraya, Elizabeth. Oh, is that special lady in St. Louis. There's also the Queen there in Texas. But my Straight Talk family, we always introduce what we call our observations in review. And there's just one observation I would address tonight. And after that observation, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I have titled Santa Claus, all I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. And in the meanwhile, let me extend Yuletide greetings, Christmas greetings, whatever you call it, whenever it comes, because this will be our last program before Christmas. And I am pondering whether we will have one just before the new year, but I'll advise you in time. But remember, there's no program on Thursday. It's Thursday, Christmas Day, but there's no program for the rest of the week. This is the only program for this week. So I took the opportunity, even ahead of time, to wish you a very Merry Christmas when it comes. So our title, like I said, our thesis is titled, beg your pardon, Santa Claus. All I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. And this observation relates to some things we see happening within CARICOM. There seem to be a wide gap. Things are opening wide in CARICOM in terms of that unity we have grown accustomed to, unity at the level of our heads. CARICOM normally spoke with one voice. But things all of a sudden have turned right around in terms of the policy as it relates to what must I say, geopolitical matters. And you can glean from your screens. I just took that social media post made by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She had some things to say as well, but I think this post is suffice. And it reads, CARICOM has aligned itself with the Maduro narco government, headed by a dictator who has imprisoned or killed thousands of Venezuelans who oppose him. Trinidad and Tobago wants no part of that alignment. We do not support dictatorship and drug trafficking, and we don't support CARICOM in their zone of peace fakery. Gaston and Ronald Sanders should worry less about my comments and spend more time explaining to their citizens as to why their visas were restricted. Venezuela has been threatening to invade Guyana for years, and since last June, they began making similar threats that Trinidad and Tobago is part of Venezuela. Yet CARICOM has chosen to support the Maduro narco government through the fake zone of peace narrative, which is clearly designed to get the American military to leave the Caribbean region and therefore enable Maduro to remain as dictator in Venezuela. My priority is in the best interest of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And very strong message coming from Prime Minister Kamla Persad of Trinidad and Tobago, and referring to the support of CARICOM in our zone here as a zone of peace fakery. She referred to that. But we'll see what's going to happen in the months to come. I believe by rotation, Terence Michael Drew is the incoming chairman of CARICOM, and we will see how he leads abroad, because he can't lead here at home. So we wonder how on earth Terence Michael Drew will lead abroad. He can't dance a yard, no lead in a yard, so we don't know how he will lead abroad. But my Straight Talk family, CARICOM is not the CARICOM we have come to know it to be. That's my observation. We will look at what's happening within the region down there in the south. The U.S. military has seized or attempted to seize another oil tanker yesterday, and President Trump has also threatened to enforce a blockade going to Venezuela. So whatever happens there, it would impact us here locally. So we here at Straight Talk will keep you posted. And that's my observation for tonight. And my Straight Talk family, I want to move right into my thesis that I've titled, like I said before, Santa Claus, all I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. I wanted to spend some time on this, my thesis, my final thesis before Christmas. So I forewent, or I don't know if that's the right term, but I did in fact forego some other observations. Because around this time in December each year, some families that can afford it ask their children to make a wish list and make their children to believe that if they've been good or of good behavior throughout the year, their wishes just might come true. Tonight, therefore, I have borrowed that familiar tradition for a more serious purpose. That's the reason that I titled my thesis, Santa Claus, all I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. And it may sound lighthearted or not too serious in tone, but the wish behind it is anything but small and should not be underestimated. Across all our constituencies here in St. Kitts and Nevis, people, citizens and residents are not asking for miracles. They are asking for honesty instead of excuses. They're asking for accountability instead of silence. And the leadership that keeps its promises. That's all we are asking for. Trust is a quiet agreement that allows a society to function. That those who govern will act fairly. Those who govern will tell the truth. And those who govern would place the public good above personal or political gain. And when that trust fades, my Straight Talk family, frustration grows, participation declines, and democracy itself is weakened. Tonight I want to speak not about impossible wishes at this time of the year, but about achievable ones. And a trustworthy government is not a fantasy meant for storybooks. It is a responsibility we must demand and the standard we must uphold. And like every meaningful gift, it requires effort, it requires courage, it requires commitment from those in office and from all of us. I do not want any ham. I do not want any turkey. I do not want any sorrel. I do not want any new slogans. I do not want recycled promises. I do not want another speech telling us to be patient while our lives grow harder by the day. All I wish for Christmas, I said, is a trustworthy government. Not one that steals. We don't want a government that's a thief. We don't want a government that cheats or lies. I say this because the cost of living is crushing ordinary people. Just going up and up. Families who have jobs have to work longer hours to make ends meet, yet afford less or have less disposable income. Parents must choose between food for their children, rent, paying their electricity bill, and our school fees. The minimum wage, we understand, was increased, and we boast that we perhaps have the highest minimum wage in the region. But truth be told, things are still rough, because it seems as though we still lag far behind prices in terms of the increase of our minimum wage. It seems as though it still lags far behind prices in the supermarkets. And survival has become a daily struggle instead of a basic expectation of life. Single mothers continue to cry out, day in, day out.
You know, I think, you know, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. It's ridiculous, Mr. Prime Minister, and we really need a help, especially for a single parent. We do have a rough time.
And that's the cry of many single parents. It's getting tougher and tougher, and they do have a rough time, even at this Yuletide season, even at Christmas. The third Prime Minister in Parliament just a few days ago told his story during his budget presentation in the Parliament last Thursday. That too many people are suffering. They have no jobs. I say this because some boast that St. Kitts Nevis is a country of abundance and high-income country, they say. But too many people are without shelter. Terence Michael Drew and the slow student Jeffrey Hanley, remember, promised to build 2,400 houses. And they promised this, my Straight Dog family.
I want to take this opportunity to highlight the Minister of Housing, because we made a promise to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis that we will build 2,400 houses. We said to them that the houses will be stronger, that they will be able to withstand Category 5 hurricanes. We said to them that they will come with the opportunity for you to extend. We also say that they will come with basic appliances and cupboards and good tiling and all of the other amenities that would make a home fitting for you, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And we were doubted, because if you were not in our position, you would doubt as well. If you were not in the position of East Coast, you would doubt as well. So those of us on the inside, even though the storm was raging on the outside, the storms of doubt and the storm of talking innuendos and the accusations that this is not possible, we did not respond in kind. We said that at the right time, the program and the houses will speak for themselves.
But ask yourselves, my Straight Talk family, the houses are in fact speaking for themselves. Where are they? But let's not forget as well, though, that these 2,400 houses only targeted those people who were deemed bankable. Remember, Lucifer told us this.
It is not government buying the houses or NHC buying the houses. It's individuals buying the houses. This is the solution for persons who are bankable and can take a mortgage loan from a credit union or a bank, and they can purchase their one-bedroom house for $111,000, a two-bedroom for $213,000, and a three-bedroom for $297,000.
So, my Straight Talk family, the poor and the indigent in this Yuletide season, on this Advent Monday, are still left exposed to the weather, exposed to hopelessness at this time. While plans remain on paper and compassion remains optional, a society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable. And by that measure, we are failing every day, my Stray Dog family. I say this because water is life. But in St. Kitts, it is scarce. And though the soccer engineer said this, remember he said this, my Stray Dog family.
He had to run in the shower before the water lock off. Why in 2022, in St. Kitts and Nevis, water still locking off? That shows a lack of vision, a lack of leadership when it comes to the public infrastructure in this country. And as the engineer in this team, I will see an end to that. That you can have dependable energy and water and utilities to your homes. So that you don't have to be running home to catch a bath. Or waking up a particular time in the morning to catch a fresh. We are past that. And we give our commitment to you to provide those services.
Yes, my Stray Dog family. Some may say talk is cheap, but we seek us money because it has gotten progressively worse in 2025, 3 years after. No matter what you hear the so-called engineer says. He says he's the engineer in the team, but qualify that. He's the so-called engineer. Communities ration what should be a guaranteed human necessity. From Sandy Point to mansions. Even over there in Taylor's, my Stray Dog family.
I want to say to the people of Taylor's, to the people of Shadwell, the people of Joes and Buckley's, etc., your days of limited time windows for water are now numbered.
Thank you.
They are numbered. We're going to count days on our hand when you're not going to have to worry about that anymore.
Yes, the days are numbered. They won't get water. My Stray Dog family boasts about finding water in Keon. But each time, till this very day, some people shower, their eyes and the skin begin to itch. And we heard Chocolate report that, and it is a factual, my Stray Dog family. It is factual, believe me.
So I went Karen this morning to drop off something for somebody, right? My partner tell me he glad water come back, but when he bear it, the water burning here. He look like labor give Karen people salt water to bear. He might say he bear it. He face about I labor high for them here.
And that's reality, my Stray Dog family. That is reality, no matter what you hear them say. Hospitals, schools struggle with their reliable supply. Then how can we speak of development when the most basic resource for life is uncertain, my Stray Dog family? And Drew said it himself. He said that his own government is a failed government. As he said this, my Stray Dog family.
You cannot do it without water. And any government that can't deliver water to its people is a failed government. Cannot do it without water. And any government that can't deliver water to its people is a failed government.
So would you say that Terence Michael Drew's administration is a failed administration? He said that. Electricity has become a privilege for some instead of a public good for all. This Labour administration continues to spend millions for the rent of 6 Agreco generators in order to ensure a constant supply. And it's not constant. anyhow, even with the 6 generators over a year now, costing millions of dollars per month, my straight dog family.
Thus, as we work toward that new 18 megawatt plant, plus the urgent need to service and overhaul our generators that have been overrun and are on the verge of collapse, plus the vulnerability of the aged generators, plus the fact that the solar farm will not be able to cover and is not intended to cover 24 hours of service, it is imperative to implement a reliable temporary supply in order for SCELEC to successfully achieve its goals. It is in this vein that SCELEC has entered into a 6 megawatt rental power agreement with world-class energy solutions provider Aggreko for a 12-month period in the first instance, during which SCELEC will perform much-needed critical overhauls.
Well, he said in the first instance, well, that tells it all, my straight dog family. It was first a 12-month period, beg your pardon, in the first instance, he said. But that was since October. So, my straight dog family, it became an imperative to facilitate the so-called engineers' plan to abandon the 36 megawatt solar farm project that was there, that they met. But in order to frustrate that development, they were forced to rent generators, 6 generators, my straight dog family, paying millions of dollars. Millions. By the time they finished, they could have actually paid for the solar farm with the money they're paying for the rental of these generators. But in fact, their own advisor told the country that the experts that looked at the solar farm said it was a good project.
It is a good project based on our own studies, calling in the expertise from right in the Caribbean to assess. It's a good project. Mm-hmm. They feel that it was properly assessed and the costing was within the range of what it would cost anyway to do that.
And my straight dog family, how can a nation, we ask, modernize while running on fuel, fumes, noise, and incompetence? Fancy words about sustainable island state agenda, but nothing but incompetence, called the team of experts. And all I wish for Christmas is a brand new, trustworthy government. I say this because our economy is not self-sufficient. We import what we can produce, borrow what we should generate, and depend where we should lead. Although we promised to reduce imports by 25% in 2025. That was a promise by Samal.
Madam Speaker, I now wish to turn our attention squarely to the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources. In this ministry, Madam Speaker, our goal is, of course, to ensure that we bring food and nutrition security to our nation. We want our people not only to have more locally produced food, Madam Speaker, but to ensure that this food is of the highest nutritional and quality standards. And in that regard, Madam Speaker, we have adopted a more measurable goal. A goal that we have not adopted alone. For as members of CARICOM, we have bought into the 25 by 25 agenda, where we have agreed across CARICOM to invest in our people that they may more adequately be able to participate in reducing our food import bill by 25% by the year 2025.
And yes, my Straight Talk family, that was only talk. The year 2025 ends in days. And where we are with our food imports, I understand they have gone higher, my Straight Talk family. Higher as we speak. And my Straight Talk family, our farmers lack support. Industries lack protection. And our young people lack opportunity. Samuel promised that money will grow on trees, remember. That's what another promise is of his. Where's the money growing on trees? Samuel Duggins and Terence Michael Drew also promised to replace sugar with Tabasco peppers. But that too seemed to have failed my Straight Talk family, as we have heard absolutely nothing about this Tabasco project by Straight Talk family. Where are the peppers, we ask?
We are here transplanting the first set of seedlings into this fertile ground right here in Newton Ground. This is really a remarkable list. Since the days of sugar, we have not had a major crop to replace sugar in a way that it would provide hundreds of jobs and in a way that it would bring foreign direct exchange. So this is revolutionary.
Revolutionary. After a year, we ask ourselves, have those seeds germinated? We need to know. We have therefore learned the hard way in the last 3 years, my Straight Talk family. We have learned that an economy that does not empower its own people is not an economy, it's a trap. I say this because accountability is weak. Public debt is rising, and the burden will only be passed on to future generations who never consented to it. Imagine a government that cannot pay its bills and spends more than it collects, my Straight Talk family. Could you imagine that? How could you imagine that? They cannot pay its bills.
In 2025, this assembly approved 28.5 million in overspending. What are they telling us? We will realize in 2025, $304 million in overspending. In other words, this is an open sesame. The budgetary process has no meaning, no effect, no constraint. The highest body in our legislative process authorizes and approves. And then we end up with a result. Don't bother with that. $304 million more than was authorized. That is important. $304 million was being spent. And what was authorized for 2025? $1.1 billion.
Imagine spending in excess of 1/3 of the budget that was approved by the parliament. Monies borrowed in the names of future generations who will only inherit unemployment, inflation, and broken systems. This government of experts, it is suggested, is heading directly to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, my Straight Talk family. This government cannot manage debt according to former Deputy Prime Minister, is a labor thing.
That this is the signature of a Labour administration. Debt, deficits. It seems as if this is what a Labour administration does best. Wrap up debt, increase the deficits. And so, Madam Speaker, I said to you, we had COVID, we had no war, and we had no recession. We had no natural disaster. And I recall that under the former Prime Minister, the member for number 6, when he used to be questioned about the large debt, he used to say, well, we had hurricane. And we had to respond to the hurricanes. And he mentioned several different hurricanes that we have had. But we have not had any. COVID was in 2019.
No war, no recession, no hurricanes, but the government gone to Parliament, gets its authorization to spend $1 billion. But the Terence Michael Drew, as Minister of Finance and his government, overspends by almost 33%, as I said. Overspends by $305 million, my Sridhar family. This government of exports cannot manage. $250 million in deficits. Where the money gone? What are they spending this money on? But as Sean Richards said, that's the signature of labor, debt and deficit. But my Sridhar family, we ask where the money gone. And we ask this because it was the former Prime Minister and third Prime Minister who pointed out. And the Director of Audit did, my Sridhar family, point out that it seemed as though in fact, it is in fact without parliamentary approval, the loan $27 million to a hotel in St. Kitts.
In the report that has accompanied the documents for this budget debate, I found it curious to learn that a loan of $27 million was made to aid in the stabilization and long-term viability of the largest hotel in the country. At the time when, if we listened to the presentations, the hotel sector is...
Speak again, I
didn't even finish my point.
He doesn't have to, based on the rule.
Yeah.
I recognize the Honourable Member for St. Christopher 6.
Madam Speaker, again, the distinguished member opposite is making reference to a loan to the largest hotel in this country of some $27 million. And he's reading from a document. Please share the contents of what you're reading. What's the name of the document? What's the name of the hotel? You can't be making statements like those in this parliament.
You're not allowing me to finish, you interrupted me.
But you had gone on. And if you are misleading, the public must not hear negative things which are misleading things.
So before we proceed to the member for St. Christopher 7 responding, I need to make it clear that the rule that which allows for interruption it doesn't have a guideline that says the person has to wait on, the member has to wait until the other member finishes the sentence or the statement. If the member who wishes to rise on the rule for interruption is of the view that something is being said which should not be said or which offends the rule, that member has the right to rise without waiting for the sentence or the statement to be complete. So I need to place that on the record. Honourable Member for St. Christopher 7, you may proceed to respond to the point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I am speaking as I was about to say, and I said it really, preface it, the documents of the government itself. If members have not read the document, then that is a different matter. But I am reading from this document, Madam Speaker, the National Audit Office document which was presented as part of the list of items. And if you check your audit paper, member for number 6, you will see the Director of Audit report. The page 28, member for number 6. And I read, Madam Speaker, from the official document of the government. Sorry. Madam, sorry. Thank you. And the Director of Audit had it very crystal clear. Subhead, Madam Speaker, draw your attention to the top of the page, loans. In 2023, says the forensic auditor, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis entered into a loan agreement with the Royal St. Kitts Beach Resort Limited for the issuance of a non-interest-bearing loan in the amount of $27 million. Why? It goes on. To aid in the stabilization and long-term viability of the Marriott's operations.
We asked the question though, my straight dog family. Do you believe that Douglas, yes, he was belittled by Timothy Harris, but do you believe Douglas was pretending because he had to know about the Marriott loan? Or he didn't know? Perhaps, my straight dog family. But this 27 million is a figure. Don't you find it's a figure? It's a magic figure. Because the former deputy as well exposed what I call scorching allegations of corruption. And allegations of corruption have become so frequent under this administration that outrage may soon be replaced by exhaustion. Because my straight talk family, the former deputy told us about another $27 million.
And the last one that I want to come to, Madam Speaker, is the Bastille High School. I heard construction has started, and so I went up there to see the construction. Not even a hot to see up there for the workers to use. This is what I saw. But Madam Speaker, I've saved this one for last, because I have some questions to ask about that, Madam Speaker. If construction has started on the Bastille High School, who is the contractor which has been awarded this particular construction project? Who is the contractor? Member for number 1 was quite vocal a few minutes ago. Who is the contractor? Is it a company by the name of Pre-Conco? St. Kitts Limited? Is it a company by the name of Pre-Conquer Limited? The member for number 8 said nobody must speak about Bastia High School. And he said some 20-something million dollars had been spent. $21 million had been spent and nothing there to show for it. Has Pre-Conquer been given $10 million US to date in respect of mobilization fees for Bastia High School? Has Pre-Conquer been given $10 million US to date in respect of mobilization fees for the construction of Bastia High School? Member for number 1, gone quiet. Has Pre-Conquer been given a contract for $100,350,000 to build the Bastia High School? $271 million to build the Bastia High School? When you look at the budget at the Volume 2, Madam Speaker, Volume 2 in respect of Bastia High School says the estimated total cost is $35 million. $35 million. Has Pre-Conquer been given a contract for $271 million to build Bastia High School? Why is the budget address saying $35 million if a contract has been given for $271 million to build the Bastia High School? Nobody must talk about Bastia High School. Well, I'm talking about it. And I dare anybody in here to tell me something differently. Tell me that $10 million US today, 27 million easy dollars, have not been given to Pre-Conquer in respect of the Bastia High School. Tell me if Pre-Conquer hasn't been given a contract for $100 million, $350,000 to build the Bastia High School, $271 million to build a school. $271 million. Member for number 1, gone quiet, Minister of Education.
The entire Parliament was quiet. It was the most quiet session for the entire 4 or 5 days of that Parliament. Quiet. And when leaders are not held accountable, trust dies. And when trust dies, democracy itself is endangered. So yes, all I wish for Christmas is a brand new trustworthy government. And Terence Michael Drew presented a most feeble response. And even unknowingly, it seems that he confessed to the allegation of corruption levied by Sean Richards. Drew has not denied that Pre-Conquer received $27 million. Neither has he denied that the school is budgeted for $35 million. But under the CBI, it has been allocated 400 shares. They have been issued under a public benefit option at US $250,000 per share. And you know, maths is my strongest weak point. That equates to $1 million US or $217 million. So Terence Michael Drew and the slow student, Jeffrey Hanley, must tell the country where the money gone. Where gone? But all this will continue to happen, my straight family, because the leader of the opposition, Mark Brantley, instead of ensuring that the Public Accounts Committee is functional, he has never moved to establish the PAC. PAC must be the watchdog in Parliament for government spending. But Mark behaves like a government backbencher, except that he sits on the opposition benches. And lo and behold, in trying to dispute the charges of corruption laid at the feet of this government, Terence Michael July revealed a serious transgression of the laws of St. Kitts and Nevis and the crime he committed when he said this, my Straight Dog family.
Bastia High School is a CBI project. That is why I said the CBI projects will be used to give us what is essential. And under the CBI relationship, that is how it is set up. When we took over, we said we're going to use our CBI to build the school. The CBI has its own arrangement built in. And he knows that. And that is what is building up the Bastia High School at this particular time. And within the CBI, they have their own mechanism of choosing who will build and support, especially as it's a statutory body now, which even give it more independence. And so this thing about it trying to cloud it in procurement as if something untoward was done is not so. And so the program with the school has a built-in mechanism that if the CBI inflows drop at any point, there will be a support coming from the government to keep it going, but that the government has to reclaim all its money. There's nothing to hide.
My Straight Dog family, you spoke about the independence of the Citizenship by Investment Unit. What nonsense. Under the Citizenship by Investment Act, or Investment Unit Act, I should say, number 11 of 2024. It's on your monitors, my Straight Dog family. The CIU was established as a body corporate. The Board of Governors, as you can glean if you look to your right at Section 6. Section 6 tells us that the Board of Governors that was appointed is in fact a creature of Terence Michael July. And further, any or every project undertaken by the CIU must be approved by the Cabinet. See Section 6, subsection 2 at J, my Straight Dog family. It says, notwithstanding the generality of subsections 1, the Board of Governors shall be charged with the following responsibilities. And fast track to J. One of such responsibilities, making submissions to the Federal Cabinet for the approval of citizenship by investment projects. What independence he's talking about? And my Straight Dog family, the Act does not expressly state that the CIU is exempt from the Procurement and Administration Act and other legislation. And perhaps that, I'm sure that will be unconstitutional. But unless a court determines that there is no legal basis for asserting that incorporation alone removes the CIU from the statutory framework governing public bodies, in the meanwhile, the moral thing is to go through a transparent process. Interestingly, my Straight Dog family, the Citizenship by Investment Act of 2024 mandates. It also mandates that an annual report be submitted to the minister at Section 26 of the Act, who shall in turn lay that report before the National Assembly. Straight Talk, therefore, opines that until a court says otherwise, the CIU, that's the Citizenship by Investment Unit, remains bound by inter alia. Yes, including but not limited to the Procurement and Administration Act, the Finance and Administration Act, the Audit and Public Accountability legislation, and any other laws of general application. So what Terence Michael July has told us is to avoid the procurement requirements, he has placed all his capital projects under the CBI program and lists them as PBOs. Is that what he's saying to us? But this option has been reduced to a cynical formula. One is attach a socially appealing label like schools, the culture, the creative arts center, the housing project, and or the international airport expansion. They inflate the allocation of shares beyond all logic. And now he says he advanced $27 million. Advanced cash. And then he'll issue passports and ask no questions. If that's so, my straight dog family, the country has lost control of its most valuable asset. The public may get a building, but someone runs away with money, plenty money. Someone gets a fortune. The process could involve, as Terence Michael Drew explained, taking $27 million from the Treasury to mobilize this public benefactor. But to take $27 million from the government Treasury without procurement or the procurement process is a crime. And his agent said that. Terence Michael Drew did just that as well. He committed a crime when he took $5.8 million from the Treasury for the procurement of 1,000 water tanks. He committed another crime when he took $8 million from the Treasury for construction of the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw Museum. And Garth Lucifer Wilkins said absolutely nothing. But why? Garth can't say anything because it's well known that Garth Lucifer Wilkins also committed a crime. That's documented in the court records, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court records, my straight dog family.
Maybe Mr. Wilkins should be disclosing what's happened. Maybe Mr. Wilkins should disclose that he had failed to pay Social Security benefits for 15 months on one occasion, on another occasion for 5 months, and another one for about three or 4 months. And all of that is contrary to the law. And it is not a simple matter of just saying, oh, you just pay the fines. Because what you expose yourself to there is criminal action. And isn't this something that should be told to everybody? That if you do not pay your Social Security benefits, you are liable to be prosecuted. You hold yourself up for that possibility.
For my straight dog family, who would believe that Garth Lucifer Wilkins had the guts to attack the member from number 5, Sean Richards? My straight dog family, remember this?
The MP prefers to whine in Culturama or go to Antigua to Carnival rather than doing their parliamentary duty. That is something you should have a conversation with the person about.
Well, my straight dog family, Lucifer ought to have known that, as we say in colloquial parlance, he got cocoa in the sun. So he must look out for the rain. And Sean did pour down the rain on Lucifer, my straight dog family.
When the SSC came to Parliament, Madam Speaker, I was aware I was in Antigua. When I came back, the bill was being debated, and the clerk and deputy clerk can tell you, normally I would leave my stuff downstairs, but I told them because I was away to hold on to it. And so as the bill was being debated, that's when I first saw the bill and began reading it. And so I didn't really have the time to do the research to be able to respond effectively to it. Now there are those who have said I went to Antigua to wind up myself rather than being here to debate the bill. And so the last thing I'm going to say, Madam Speaker, that even if I went to Antigua to wind up myself, at least when I came back, Madam Speaker, nobody could say that I used money that should have been used to pay Social Security for my nanny to go to Antigua. And nobody could say I made any false declaration and end up in problems with customs. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Oops, I hear you say. The criminal acts are documented against the Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkins. He has still not resigned. So this is why all I wish from Santa Claus is a trustworthy government. The Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin must now tell the country what he knows about the falsification of customs documents. The country needs to know, my stray dog family. Another corrupt deal has gone quiet for some unknown reason, and that is the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport expansion, my stray dog family. That has gone quiet.
Mr. Prime Minister, yes. Sean Dixon, St. Kitts Nevis Observer. The Caribbean Infrastructure Development Corporation is advertising as the approved public benefactor of the St. Kitts Airport expansion project. However, no official communication has been made to the public about this partnership. Could you clarify the nature of the relationship with the government and CIDC, and the total cost of the airport expansion, the value or percentage of shares offered under the CBI program, and how this arrangement differs from the prison project that you previously opposed?
Now, with respect to CIDC, CIDC has what you call just the planning stage of the airport. I think they got a very limited number of shares to do the plan and the structuring of the airport. In the airport is about 60-something shares. 60-something at this stage. 60-something. Just for the feasibility study and stuff. Nothing to do with the construction of the airport itself.
He lies so easily. He says the plan, the structure, and then he says the feasibility study. But 60 shares at $250,000 per share, that's $15 million US. How could a feasibility study or a plan or a structure, whatever it is, cost US $15 million? That's $40 million AC dollars, my stray dog family. The CIU has also issued 3,000 shares to the CIDC under PBO for an $150 million project. That's the airport expansion project. So $600 million is going into somebody's bank account. Where is the transparency within the CIU? Where is the transparency within this government? But my stray dog family, as we wrap tonight, the Minister of Ports, Marsha, said she's overwhelmed. My stray dog family. The Minister of Ports, I've heard some good news. If it's correct, I commend her. But I also want to know that as St. Kitts is not one of the Caribbean ports that have joined forces to reshape the map of global travel, my stray dog family. And as I said, I've heard some good news about the minister. And if accurate, I must commend her. Commend you, Marsha. But it has to be more than hosting ships. As you see that Travel and Tour cruise article, it's about building the future of St. Kitts and Nevis, and by extension, Caribbean cruise tourism. And finally, in an article written by Margaret Levy Olivai, titled Trustworthy Government, the obligations of government and the responsibility of the governed. It reads, my straight dog family. Levy opined that in well-functioning democracies, a virtuous circle arises, meaning when governments act in ways that are fair, competent, and oriented toward delivering promised services. Citizens come to see public authority as legitimate and worthy of trust. And you can look at that virtuous circle, my Straight Talk family. Citizens are more likely to follow laws, pay taxes, and cooperate with public policies when they believe that rules are applied fairly and that government actors are motivated by the public good. Device virtuous circle highlights that trust is not merely an attitude, but a relationship built through reciprocal obligations. The Terence Michael July Labour administration can only earn trust through performance and fairness. Citizens will reciprocate through compliance and cooperation, my Straight Talk family. But this cycle under the Terence Michael July Labour government has broken down because of rampant corruption, incompetence, and unfairness, which have led to distrust, non-compliance, and weakened governance. What we need is a government that serves, not rules. A government that plans and not improvises. A government that values integrity over loyalty, competence over connections, and people over power. A government that ensures food is affordable, water is accessible, electricity is reliable, shelter is available, and opportunity is real. We do not ask for miracles. We ask for responsibility. We ask for honesty. We ask for leadership worthy of the people it claims to represent. As I said throughout my thesis, all I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government, because the future should not be a luxury, and dignity should not be negotiable. So in closing, my Straight Talk family, I want us to be clear about what is at stake. A trustworthy government is not a luxury, and it is not a naive dream. It is the minimum requirement of a free society. It is the promise that power will serve the people, not itself. That truth will matter more than convenience, and that justice will not depend on wealth, influence, or silence. Trust is built when leaders are accountable, when institutions are transparent, and when citizens refuse to accept corruption as normal. Let us eradicate this rampant corruption. This moment calls on all of us, leaders and citizens alike, to demand better and to do better. So if we choose integrity over indifference and responsibility over excuses, then this wish will no longer appear on a Christmas list. It will become the standard we live by, the future we defend, and the democracy we pass on to the next generation. Then it will no longer be necessary to tell Santa Claus, all I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. And in the process, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I say a Merry Christmas to you when it comes, my Straight Talk family. And I say good night to our first caller at 9:17. Caller, you live.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Liver.
Good night, my dear. And how art thou tonight?
I am great. Without trust, there can be no loyalty.
Without trust, there can be no loyalty.
And without loyalty, there can be no growth.
Loyalty, there can be no growth.
I repeat, without trust, there can be no loyalty. And without loyalty, there can be no growth. Have a great evening and enjoy your Christmas season.
Thanks, and the same to you, my dear. Thanks a lot, as always, for your quotations. This one, no different, always thought-provoking and so appropriate as well. Without trust, there can be no loyalty, and without loyalty, there can be no growth. Let's go to the lines and say a Merry Christmas to my Straight Talk family at 19 past the 9 o'clock hour. Caller, you're live. Wow. Yes, caller?
Mr. Straight Talk?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. How are you, my brother?
Peaceful. I am peaceful, my brother.
You sound very peaceful.
Yes, I'm peaceful.
I was just telling my brother tonight that you ain't gonna I gotta listen to you tonight. Last week I was under the weather. I said, Straight Talk gonna only come on for tonight because remember next week is so and so. So I know that you was gonna rest yourself. So that's a blessing. But let me just say good night to my people and I wish them Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to my brother there, Alvin, and his son there in Bellevue. Merry Christmas to my friend Lyda. And Merry Christmas to my lovely niece there in St. Louis, Texas Queen. Merry Christmas, man, you guys. God bless you guys and my brother Ellis. God bless you guys. Have yourself a wonderful Christmas and Kenzie and the Tabernacle. Mr. Straight Talk, did our second Prime Minister didn't get the document?
If he didn't get the document?
Yeah, did he get
he had the documents. Everybody.
No. Mr. Straight Talk, you have filled me, man.
Everybody, it was a part of the package.
Mr. Straight Talk. Yes, un momentito. Okay. You want to come tell me that document is available and that man get up like a big fool? Something is wrong.
He didn't read his documents. Or
No, Mr. Straight Talk. The man no have it. He ain't have it. If he had it, he would have looked for it. You see how the man get up there and then that queen bee, black bee speaker. Oh, he has a right to. And then I tell him, well, listen, you shouldn't do that, no, because you was wrong. That wasn't your right. The man had his right, and you come and give a wrong statement. You see how something go?
Yes.
I mean, the man get up and stop the man from speaking. Let him say who. You just can't come in here. I wonder what he have to say when he go back to his constituency. You see, that's why things can't get better now, because the Labour people are failing to hold these people accountable. Understand? He says that the US stopped the students from come back in with the student business. Did he say what's caused them to stop it?
Not to my knowledge.
Mr. Straight Talk?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't heard him say a reason.
But that's what he's supposed to say. He just get up and say, well, we understand. Just, well, this is what. So he don't call up them to say what the problem, why we stop our students and come to the public. He'll let the public know what America do, but he not let the public know what America said they do. You hear about Dominica and America?
Yes, we actually provided that information last week.
Yes, man, it's amazing. Do you have something with the Prime Minister of Dominica saying because they said something was out there that he says concerning Venezuela? So I was wondering if you have a tape, if something is out there on it, on YouTube or what. But I'm gonna find out tomorrow.
I've only heard. In fact, I didn't get the time to download it. Kamala Prasad.
Yes, I hear her. I hear her comments on ZIZ.
Oh, it was okay.
So I hear So that one there I get clearly. Okay. But I don't have nothing about what Dominica.
No, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard him.
But she said it's there, so I'm going to get it, and send it to you. Mr. Stratak, I think I hold up your line long enough. My brother, I want you to take care of yourself. I wish you a merry, wonderful Christmas. Take care of yourself until I see you when I see you. See you soon. Abracadabra. See you when I see you. Be good.
Be good as well, my Straight Dog family. And yes, my Straight Dog family, the lines are open. We are entertaining your calls. The numbers are on your monitors. You can as well use the opportunity to extend Christmas greetings to your friends, your family. That's an opportunity to do that as well. And make your wish. My wish is that we have or we get a trustworthy government. And once we get that trustworthy government, we'll pass on that democracy to our next generation. And my Straight Dog family, it's 24 past the 9 o'clock hour. And what we have here is an untrustworthy government. And I'm asking Santa Claus to change that for us. We call on our leaders to be accountable. When our leaders are accountable, when our institutions are transparent, and when citizens refuse to accept corruption as normal, then we eradicate this rampant corruption. And that quotation we got from our good Straight Talk family across the Narrows in Nevis. Without trust, there can be no loyalty. And without loyalty, there can be no growth. My Straight Talk family. Let me see if I can actually check my emails as well while I'm here. See what's on the emails. And this email reads, Season's greetings. O great one, I hope and pray you will get everything you wrote Santa for. I asked him for new government for St. Kitts, and the Trini go back where she come from and leave Lucifer and his dirty mouth and ways. Sean took him to task. I now understand what they mean by you only see foul behind when wind blow. I could tell you that was no ordinary wind. That was a tropical storm in Church Street. Patches, have a nice season. God bless you and much respect. Reads that email, my Straight Talk family. Did I just answer that telephone? Caller, you there? Okay, I think perhaps I lost that call. Yes, the lines are open, my Straight Dog family. And the numbers, they're all there on your screens. And it's time to send out your Christmas greetings as well, if you so desire. But I say greetings to my entire Straight Talk family all around the globe. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller?
A pleasant good evening to you.
Good evening to you, mate. That sounds like the dimple lady. Happy Christmas to you when it comes.
Okay. I must say, the same to you and everyone else. Have a enjoyed full Christmas and a blessed New Year for the whole nation. I want to say advance birthday to my friend over there in Nevis celebrating on Wednesday, the quotation lady. I want to wish you all the best and many, many more years to come. Have a blessed Christmas when it's come. What is the question you ask? If Mr. Harris never go in the house and speak about that $27 million, we would not have known. Nobody else would have been now because so many speakers went up before and none of them mentioned the $27 million. Not even the little boy what they had here in a big man clothes. He mentioned it and he had nearly 4 to 5 hours speaking and he mentioned it. That's the reason why they want to talk. Because every time he talk, they get up to stop him and walk up because they don't want him to know what we ain't know up here because they ain't know. And that's the one Semper, they should have been in a jail up to now. And now I call back in the house. I can talk about how is a mislead. Them is the misleader. Because they ain't telling us the truth. They are liars. That's what they are. Lawyers. So them is the misleader, not Harris. Mr. Harris, you have a blessed, enjoyable Christmas when it comes. And God help us for the new year. But you this Christmas.
Yes, my dear, thanks a lot. And you have yourself a wonderful Christmas as well.
Yes, I'm going to try very, very, very hard to do that.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you.
Okay. All the best, my Street Dog family. And it's very, very strange as I was listening to that caller there. But Douglas rose on the point of order as it relates to this.
In the report that has accompanied the documents for this budget debate, I found it curious to learn that a loan of $27 million was made to aid in the stabilization and long-term viability of the largest hotel in the country. At the time when, if we listened to the presentations, the hotel sector is...
I
didn't even finish my point.
He doesn't have to, based on the rule.
Yeah.
I recognize the Honourable Member for St. Christopher 6.
Madam Speaker, again, the distinguished member opposite is making reference to a loan to the largest hotel in this country of some $27 million. And he's reading from a document. Please share the contents of what you're reading. What's the name of the document? What's the name of the hotel? You can't be making statements like those in this parliament.
You know, my Stray Dog family, that caller before asked if everybody got that document. The audit report is report, even if you're a civil servant, especially a head of department or in particular a permanent secretary. If it's one report you want to grab, never mind if you're a minister, if it's one report or a member of parliament, if there's one report you want to grab, is the audit report. And Douglas was in that house for 4 days. And it as if they haven't or they did not read their documents. You always want to grab that audit report. I'm trying to get my hands on one as we speak. But up to now, I cannot find it. Caller, thank you for holding. You're live. Hello,
Good evening, Mr. Wright. Good evening.
Merry Christmas.
How are you?
Merry Christmas to you, my dear. When it comes. Season's greetings, yes.
Yes, you and your family.
You and yours.
And I want to send out season greeting to the Bergen family here in St. Kitts and around the world. And also the Woodley family and everyone tonight who's listening at your program. Season greeting to everyone who are around the world tonight. Mr. Liber, what I calling to say, right? All those people that used to work for government and they don't retire. Those is the one who get the double salary, and those other people that don't retire. What about the pensioners then? Because you have two different pensioners, eh? You have two different pensioners. I don't know if he do that thing right or he do it wrong. I do not know. But the money that he gives,
when you say pensioners, you mean government pensioners?
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. You have two set of pensioners, government pensioners and the other pensioners.
The other pensioners.
Could you put me straight? When Mr. Harris was in there, Mr. Harris done something like that?
What you refer to as other pensioners? I don't quite follow you.
Pensioners
who haven't worked for government?
Yes.
Well, the double salary or the bonuses are for government workers. I'm not certain if others benefit from it.
I know, but the other pensioners then, Mr. Harris did give those when he was in there. The last double salary that he leave there, when before he come out of office. When he come out, he leave that budget there, so he did have to pay.
No, but I don't know if anyone can pay. Take up government money and don't pay, and just pay it out to everybody like that.
Oh, but that's what he want. That's what he wanted them, because I listened to a lady Sunday, and she saying all the way and all the talking done over. I wanted to understand this, that the money that he give to the civil servants them and those who don't retire is the people and money. The entitled of it is the people and money, and the same money.
It's a bonus. It's not really the money. It's an extra salary. It's like a bonus.
Right. Yeah, the same money that he give them is we're spending back in the country. You have a single mother, Mr. Leibert. They're paying social, and you could hear the cry of the single mothers then. You can hear the cry of them. They don't have any money to enjoy the Christmas and what's that. And I have 6 girl children, and they're single. I don't have any boy child. I take back my boy child. And they're single, and this is the cry of them every day in my ear. And rest other single mothers.
You read the Bible a lot, man. You're fruitful and you multiply. 6 children.
Yes, 6 beautiful,
wow.
6 beautiful children.
Wow.
The first one I get it for Japan. Oh. That's the first one I get.
Okay.
And then I get, yes, Mr. Japan. I have a daughter for you. She work at Best Buy.
Oh, I bet. I met your daughter. Yes.
Yes. She told me.
Yes,
she told me.
Yes.
Yes, she told me. Yeah. But for this 2026 that come in, I want to see and I want to know what life is all about with this government we're still in. If what's going to come are better going to come for us in this country.
Boss.
Because a lot of people feeling it, a lot of people crying, and I want to know if they're listening to the people I'm crying. Those Sonia, them will sing in the song, them Sonia on them. They should sing all the song them and him. Because before he do better, he doing worse.
Yep.
He was on the campaigning, and he's saying this and he's saying that. But he was so than Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris has done good. And he come in and he doing worse. He want people them talking about him. He want people them saying, leave him and they hang himself. With the kind of advice that he got. I pray to God, Mr. Loiber, tonight. 2025 will soon say, bye-bye. And we want to say, sure, if you're going to see and open our eyes to see 2026, we just have to ask God for good health and good strength every day. I want to see what He's going to bring to the people of Sinkit for 2026. God be our life to see.
Hardship.
Because Mr. Howie,
hardships you're going to bring.
Hardship?
Yes.
Well, are we going to see? Are we going to see?
What else do you expect him to bring?
How we mean, Mr. Liban?
What else do you expect you to bring?
So what you want to compare?
He carried the country in debt. 3 years of deficit. Didn't you hear representatives say the 3 years of deficit was over $700 million? Over 3 years? Oh, seem to have lost a caller. Right? What else we could expect from Terrence Joe? I am asking Santo for a trustworthy government. They will continue in their corrupt ways. They will continue in their corrupt ways. We can't expect anything different from this administration. Look at what he said about the CIU. He said the CIU is independent. They do as they like. So he can take the CIU, that's what he's saying to us, put all these projects under the CIU, and then they just send all this money into people's pockets. Don't you understand? Let's be clear and understand what this guy is doing, my Straight Talk family. These guys are bad for government. Good evening, Mr. Liebert reads this email. The response to the budget estimates last week by former Deputy Prime Minister Sean Richards ended with a cryptic message directed to Garth, the bagman, Wilkin, regarding criminal acts of social security deductions from his nanny's wages and the forgery of customs documents for importation. You played the clip tonight of the said cryptic allegation, forgery of customs documents, or the filing of false import declarations are a very serious criminal matter, especially when it results in the state being defrauded from its rightful tax revenues. This is a crime which can and does lead to a custodial sentence to the perpetrator of the criminal act. The Federation wants to know the truth. Who forged customs documents or filed false declarations? False declarations. Does Dr. Drew know? Does Garth Wilkin know? Does his Trini wife know? That's a question being asked. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Mugabe, you notice I get cut off and tape. I don't know what happened.
You don't get cut off, something you just seem to drop out. Is a postpaid, a prepaid phone you have?
I don't need to now, you hear me, but
okay.
It just cut off just like that. Even if I'm talking to anybody, just cutting off like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Yes,
I don't know how. But you have a wonderful Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and may the Lord bless and keep you and your family, and keep you and your family in good health and good strength, and also me and my family and everyone tonight who are listening to your program. May the good Lord bless and keep everyone and keep you all in good health. And I wish each and every one who is listening a prosperous Christmas and a prosperous New Year when it comes, God's our life. I love you, Mr. Lloyd, but you be safe.
You be safe as well, and I love you more, my dear. It's now 18 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. Straight Talk is heard every Monday and Thursday from 8 until 10 p.m. Remember, we take a break this week. And perhaps, just perhaps, I'm chewing on it, perhaps we may just have one program to bring in the new year, but this one brings in the Christmas. So we take a break, and we all enjoy our Christmas. I don't want any ham. I don't want any turkey. I don't want any sorrel. I don't want any wine. I don't want any promises. All I want is a trustworthy government from Santa. That's all I'm asking Santa for. Don't give me no other gifts from Santa. And my Straight Talk family, this is what that caller asks.
When the SSC came to Parliament, Madam Speaker, I was aware I was in Antigua. When I came back, the bill was being debated, and the clerk and deputy clerk can tell you, normally I would leave my stuff downstairs, but I told them because I was away to hold on to it. And so as the bill was being debated, that's when I first saw the bill and began reading it. And so I didn't really have the time to do the research to be able to respond effectively to it. Now, there are those who have said I went to Antigua to wind up myself rather than being here to debate the bill. And so the last thing I'm going to say, Madam Speaker, that even if I went to Antigua to wind up myself, at least when I came back, Madam Speaker, nobody could say that I used money that should have been used to pay Social Security for my nanny to go to Antigua. And nobody could say I made any false declaration and end up in problems with customs. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Well, my Straight Talk family, that's some strong accusations, especially the forging of customs documents, false declarations. And we are asking the question to Garth Lucifer Wilkin and to Terence Michael Drew, who forged any customs documents. Do you know, Dr. Drew? Garth Wilkin, do you know? And the question being asked by that other caller, does your Trini wife know as well? Very serious questions we ask tonight. But criminal acts are documented against the Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin. But he still has not resigned. And this is why all I wish from Santa Claus is a trustworthy government. The Attorney General must now tell the country what he knows about the falsification of customs documents. Dr. Terence Drew must tell the country what he knows about the falsification of customs documents. The country needs to know, my Straight Talk family. All these crop deals are just going quiet. Why, my Straight Talk family? Why do we need to hide these things? My Straight Talk family, another accusation was levied and the parliament was quiet. Quiet, my Straight Talk family. And this is about the Bastille High School.
The last one that I want to come to, Madam Speaker, is the Bastille High School. I heard construction has started, and so I went up there to see the construction. Not even a hot to see up there for the workers to use. This is what I saw. But Madam Speaker, I've saved this one for last, because I have some questions to ask about that, Madam Speaker. If construction has started on the Bastille High School, who is the contractor which has been awarded this particular construction project? Who is the contractor? Member for number one was quite vocal a few minutes ago. Who is the contractor? Is it a company by the name of Pre-Conco, saying it's limited? Is it a company by the name of Pre-Conco Limited? The member for number 8 said nobody must speak about Bastia High School. And he said some $20-something million had been spent. $21 million had been spent and nothing there to show for it. Has Preconco been given $10 million to date in respect of mobilization fees for Bastia High School? Has Preconco been given $10 million to date in respect of mobilization fees for the construction of Bastia High School? Member for number 1, gone quiet. Has Preconco been given a contract for $100,350,000 to build the Bastia High School? $271 million to build the Bastia High School? When you look at the budget at the Volume 2, Madam Speaker, Volume 2 in respect of Bastia High School says the estimated total cost is $35 million. $35 million. Has Preconco been given a contract for $271 million to build Bastia High School? Why is the budget address saying $35 million if a contract has been given for $271 million to build the Bastia High School? Nobody must talk about Bastia High School. Well, I'm talking about it. And I dare anybody in here to tell me something differently. Tell me that $10 million to date, 27 million EC dollars have not been given to Preconco in respect of the Bastia High School. Tell me if Preconco hasn't been given a contract for $100 million, $350,000 to build the Bastia High School, $271 million to build a school. $271 million. Member for number 1, gone quiet, Minister of Education.
Well, the whole parliament and the government benches were quiet. Quiet like a church mouse, as they say. But all this would continue to happen because there's no public accounts committee established in the parliament. The leader of the opposition, Mark Brantley, he has not made certain that the Public Accounts Committee is functional. That's part of his functions. The Public Accounts Committee must be the watchdog in Parliament, my straight dog family, for government spending. But Mark Brantley behaves like a government backbencher, except that he sits on the opposition benches. Caller, good night. And greetings to you, and I trust and hope you'll have a wonderful Christmas when it comes.
Greetings, Mr. Patches.
Greetings, my brother.
Pray and hope also you have a lovely Christmas when it comes. I'm praying the Lord continue to bless you in good health.
Yes, thanks.
Humanity by nature is gifted to think freely. But in order that the free thought should lead him to the goal of liberty and independence, his way of thinking must be shaped by the process of education. Mr. Patches, for the year, your program being very stimulating. You choose topics that engage the debate amongst the populace, which is very good for our country. Our National Assembly, Mr. Patches, was very interested. And I must say, the presentation of Sean Richards, I must say, his presentation to the House of Assembly to budget debate is not nothing new. I remember some years back under a Douglas administration in a budget debate, He dismantled the budget then, at the time. And this presentation, he strengthened, before that, the presentation of his boss, his former boss, Timothy Harris, was a well spoken presentation. And it's like at the time he was under, let's say, judgment from the different sector, cross talk and everything that was thrown at him. And Sean's presentation enlightened a lot of what Timothy was putting out. So it's good that also that Sean's presentation was also that evening and not the following day. So he enhanced everything pertaining to the budget presentation and also to enlighten many things that Dr. Timothy Harris was alluded to. Another thing, Mr. Patches, the 25% that is the CBI revenues that would be going to Nevis. There is a World Bank report. I heard you talk about last on your last program, and I also heard Mr. Harris mention the World Bank report as well. I was looking for the speaker on her ruling to bring that debate more into discussion in the parliament. You know, highlight it a little more, but she didn't really rule like that. But the World Bank report, I feel it should be more highlighted within the budget debate, also from Nevis end and our end, because the fair share dealing, to emphasize whether or not the Nevis Island Assembly receive, let's say, something that would amount to a fair share deal. Because this ratio talk was in before, and I mean, it is said that it was an agreement before these guys get in office. Okay, but you get in office, etc., etc. The World Bank report come into being because of what was happening. So I feel, as a citizen, the World Bank report should emphasize some more. Let us see. It should be, I said it already, it should be published for the public to read and see what it is that the World Bank report is saying pertaining what it is concerning the fair share agreement.
Of course, everything's a secret.
So, Mr. Patches, as I say, your program for the past months be very highlighting, and I pray the Lord continue to bless you in good health. Stay strong. God bless.
God bless you as well, my brother, and I wish you the same good health and strength as well. And yes, you raise a very important, very pertinent issue about the World Bank report. And the speaker was at pains to talk about the Charleston Accord. The Charleston Accord was back in 2014. Fast track, we have a World Bank report. Let the public see or know about the World Bank report. Before the World Bank report was in the possession of the Prime Minister for over a year. Brantley said he wasn't consulted. He didn't like what he saw in the report. But let the public rather, see what's in the report, my Straight Talk family. That's the questions we have about the trustworthiness of this government and our leaders. A trustworthy government is not a luxury. As I said before, it's not a naive dream. It is the minimum requirement of a free society. And my Straight Talk family, as I wind down tonight's programming, we will perhaps take a few more calls if you're so minded to call. I in fact spoke or introduced my thesis in a way like this. I said, I don't want no ham, I don't want a turkey. But let's go to the lines and I'll get back to that. Caller, happy Christmas when it comes, and welcome to
Thank you, and the same to you, sir. Let's hope that Santa Claus brings you everything that you ask for.
All I ask for is a trustworthy government.
Oh boy, that's a hard one for Santa Claus, boy.
It's hard for Santa, you think?
Yes. Anyhow, talking about trustworthiness, remember during Sean Richards' presentation, he actually pointed out to a part of the Prime Minister's speech, which he left out.
Yeah.
Out because it pertained to the increases in the debt over the next so many years.
Yes.
And he didn't want to talk about that, so he left it out.
He jumped past the deficit. Yeah.
He almost missed a whole page. The old scamp. That is absolute dishonesty, man. I mean, if it's India, it passed part of the budget address put in there by those who helped prepare the thing. Why leave it out? Because it sounds bad? Facts are facts.
Yes.
And this is what the IMF determined, that this is where we see Senkis going, Senkis Nevis going. Let the people know so that we can get up and prepare for it. The other thing too, again, with Sean Richards again, I don't know who set him on fire that night, why. This is a different Sean I heard on that Thursday night. He was talking about the amount of foreign businesses on 4th Street.
Yes.
And all these foreigners were there. And when Douglas came to talk the following day, he said that they're not foreigners, they're CARICOM, members of CARICOM. I never hear what stupid, but Chinese and Indians also talking about members of CARICOM. This government and its ministers are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They figure that people in saying is moo and stupid. And if we continue with them, we may become moo and stupid for you. Have a good Christmas, my boy. I don't know if we can have a drink together sometime. You have any ham on?
Berries. There's no good berries around these days.
Oh, I see.
We have a John Crobati, which can substitute for that.
Yeah.
A Jebby from Jamaica.
Molasses skills, so you can't get a good ham on.
Okay, my brother.
You ban molasses, so ham on dead.
Okay.
Okay, my patches. You have a good Christmas.
Have a good Christmas as well.
Bye.
And this is a section that Jew omitted from his budget address. The section that I've underlined on your screens there, my Straight Talk family, which speaks to the deficit right? And it speaks to what on section 18, the financial landscape, which reads, you can read it for yourself on the screen. The first part there, very interesting. Madam Speaker, I move to give you a synopsis of the government's fiscal performance for the year 2025. An analysis of the 2025 fiscal data revealed that deficits were recorded for the overall and primary accounts of $295.4 million and $279.3 million respectively. He couldn't come to grips with those words, my Shooter family. Caller, Merry Christmas. You are live. Christmas when who's that? The Bible man?
Yeah.
You're up late.
How are you, sir?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
You wake up tonight, but me see sleep till you wake up.
Yes, I'm up. I'm up, my brother.
Here with the word of God, Mr. Patrick. You said that quick, but they ain't gonna stay too long. So give thanks unto the Lord for his good, his mercy endured forever. And let the Redeemer of the Lord so, who had redeemed from the hands of the enemy. That is, I am not going to wish nobody no happy Christmas now until we're reaching to 2026. And so when we reach in 2026, I could wish people all the best for the Christmas and all the best for the coming year. So my favorite passage scripture is, and that's it, we come in for the coming year too. Psalm 41. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor. In the time of trouble, the Lord shall deliver him. Mr. Patrick, listen to the Bible man tonight. When you consider the poor, Mr. Patrick, number one, you ain't selfish. Number two, you are lovely. Number three, you always like to see the poor. You always like to look after the poor. And that is, for me, I cut out until the Lord help me to really see 2026. And all the best to you, Mr. Patrick, and everything that is good. Yeah. All the best, Mr. Patrick. See you. Bye.
Okay, have yourself a wonderful Christmas when it comes, my brother. And all the best for the new year as well. And as we wind down, we did in fact, in our introduction, I was going to come to that. We made reference to this particular time of year in December. And what's happening in the country at this time, things are hard. Families can't afford it. And those that can ask their children to make a wish list. And they encourage them to believe that if they've been of good behavior, their wishes might come true. So all I did was to borrow that familiar tradition for a more serious purpose. And that's the reason I've titled my thesis, Santa Claus. All I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. It may have sounded light-hearted, trivial, or not too serious in tone, but the wish behind it is anything but trivial and should not have been underestimated. And I trust that my thesis brought that out. Brought out the fact that across all of our constituencies in St. Kitts and Nevis, people, citizens and residents, are not asking for miracles. All they ask for is honesty instead of excuses, accountability instead of silence, and leadership that keeps their promises. Don't tell us nothing's on the way. Caller, you're live. Merry Christmas when
Good
it
night,
comes.
sir.
Good night, my lord.
I just want to wish you, the callers and your listeners, Merry Christmas season greeting and a Happy New Year when it comes along. That's all I call to say.
Thank you. I wish you the same as well, my dear brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. Let's go back to the lines. Caller. Hello, caller. You are live. Are you there, caller? Yes, caller. You're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, me patches again.
My dear.
Yes. Patches are related to know if it is related to know if it is normal to carry in tape in the National Assembly play.
Carry what?
Because you see for tape, the first time I hear it, I hear you Friday when Sean and Tim done with him Thursday, Friday he carrying a tape of Harris say he a play. And that was the topic Sean and Harris for the whole Friday. It really hurt him, boy. He play a tape. So if he good for he to carry in a tape to play, well, that means people are going to have to carry in tape because he have a lot of tape that people really like to hear, especially the one when you say he have a shot for the sheriff and many more tapes. So if he have his tape, carrying it Friday to play because when they finish with him Thursday, he ain't have nothing to say. So that means everybody going to go take up a tape and carry in there and play as usual. I hope the speaker give them the time to play the tape because they played about 3 times. So I hope she gives them the time to play the tape when they ready because they have a lot of tape about them. But you have a pleasant night. See you.
Have a pleasant night as well. And that's the way we're gonna end it with our calls for tonight. And as I was about to say that across all of our constituencies, citizens and residents alike are not asking for miracles. They're asking for honesty instead of excuses, accountability instead of silence, and leadership that keeps its promises. 3 years and heading on to 4 years, this administration has made so many promises. Everything is on the way. But trust is a quiet agreement that allows a society to function. That those who govern will act fairly. Those who govern will tell the truth and place the public good above personal or political gain. And when that trust fades, frustration grows. Participation declines and democracy is weakened. Caller, I'm going to guide you by the rules of brevity. I will also extend season's greetings to you as well. You're live.
Yeah, Patrick, season's greeting right back at you, man. And season's greeting to all the listeners home and abroad. Best wishes for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis when the new year comes in. And ask God to spare our lives to witness that first of the year. But just real quickly, our two leaders, the Premier and the Prime Minister, definitely has lied to the Federation in connection to this Destiny project.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just asking the people to stay vigilant and keep praying for St. Kitts and Nevis. We deserve better. And when that next election comes, we will replace who we need to replace. All the corrupted persons in control right now. Best wishes to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis and everyone that made contribution here to Straight Talk throughout this year. I want to say a special thank you to all of those persons who have called in and keep Straight Talk the #1 podcast out there. Patches to you. Thanks for bringing the information forward, and I wish you and your family the best, man, going forward. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, and you have yourself a wonderful season, and I trust you will enjoy good health as well. And
thanks.
That's the way, again, we're going to end it with the calls, and I spoke tonight not about impossible wishes, but about achievable ones. A trustworthy government is not a fantasy meant for the storybooks. It is a responsibility we must demand and a standard we must uphold. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Season's greetings.
Good night, Patrick. Good night.
Good night, my brother. Who's that? Mr. Politics.
First, I want to thank God for life. Thank God for the blessed country like St. Kitts and Nevis. Patrick, I wanted to continue to keep up the fight because as far as I can concerned, only one program right now we got. And the people them could call in and share the views of what's going on in the country. And this is something that I believe we live in a democratic country. And I believe that if people see things wrong and they want to speak out against wrongdoing, I believe that they got it right. Just like when they was in opposition and there's all kind of things about the unity government. And as far as I can so know, he ain't have much radio talk shows now to people calling and share the views what's going on in this country. And I want to commend the Honorable Sean Richard and commend Dr. Harris for this tone message in Parliament, debate in Parliament and the budget. Because, Patrick, let me tell you something, right? It's only 2 members on the opposition bench in the Parliament, you know. The other 3 members, it look like they're on the government side. Because when I listen to them, those 3 members from the Nevis end, Patches, they have nothing to tell the people them out there who really suffering and speaking to the people them and the opposition side. You understand?
Yep.
So I believe this new year coming. More people calling on these radio talks and calling to your program and express the views what's going on in the country. Because what we hear ain't sounding good at all. They was talking about Dr. Harris this and Dr. Harris that with the unity government. But Patrick, we hear now kind of co-op thing. We talk about integrity. And up to now, you ain't seen no integrity. You ain't seen no chance thing in government. Patrick, I want this country. This is my country. And as I always say, I am not in a party politics with nobody. I about my country. And any government going there to solve the country and solve the people, that is my political agenda and my agenda to listen to and to work for the people. That is your God bless night. May God bless you and keep you, and may continue to do the good works.
Thank you.
Blessed.
Blessed, my brother. Thank you. And as again we wind down, a trustworthy government, I was saying, is not a fantasy for storybooks. It is a responsibility we must demand and a standard that we must uphold. And like every meaningful gift, it requires effort, courage, and commitment from those in office and from all of us. I'll say in the end, like I said in the beginning, I don't want no harm. I don't want any talking. I don't want any new slogans. I don't want recycled promises. I don't want another speech to tell us be patient while our lives grow harder and harder by the day. All I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. Get rid of the thieves, those who cheat, and those who lie and are in government. I say this because the cost of living is crushing everyone, ordinary people in particular. Families who have jobs work longer hours, yet afford less or have less disposable income. Parents must choose between food for their children, rent, paying their electricity bills, and our school fees. The minimum wage was increased. We boast of the highest minimum wage in the region. But it seems as though it still lags far behind the prices in the supermarkets. And survival has become a daily struggle instead of a basic expectation of life. Single mothers continue to cry out. This one cried out, and the Prime Minister had no response for her.
You know, I think, you know, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. It's ridiculous, Mr. Prime Minister, and we really need a help, especially for a single parent. We do have a rough time.
A rough time, my Straight Dog family. So to the poor and the indigent in this Yuletide season, on this Advent Monday, who are still exposed to the weather, to hopelessness, yet plans remain on paper and compassion remains optional. And the society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable. And by that measure, this government has failed. Water, electricity, food. And all I wish for Christmas is a brand new, trustworthy government. I say this because our economy is not self-sufficient. We import what we can produce, borrow what we should generate, and depend where we should lead, although we promise to reduce imports. My Straight Dog family, money is borrowed in the names of future generations who will inherit unemployment, inflation, and broken systems. My Straight Dog family. We heard of the continuing debt. Debt, only debt. That's a labor signature we were told.
That this is the signature of a Labour administration. Debt, deficits. It seems as though this is what a Labour administration does best. Rack up debt, increase the deficits. And so, Madam Speaker, I said to you, we had COVID, we had no war, and we had no recession. We had no natural disaster. And I recall that under the former Prime Minister, the member for number 6, when he used to be questioned about the large debt, he used to say, well, we had hurricane, and we had to respond to the hurricanes. And he mentioned several different hurricanes that we have had. But we have not had any. COVID was in 2019.
Yes, my Dog family. Could you imagine? You go to Parliament, and you have to go to Parliament each year to get the authority to spend. And this government got the authority to spend $1.1 billion. And what they did? What they did, my Straight Dog family?
In 2025, this assembly approved $28.5 million in overspending. What are they telling us? We will realize in 2025, $304 million in overspending. In other words, this is an open sesame. The budgetary process has no meaning, no effect, no constraint. The highest body in our legislative process authorizes and approves. And then we end up with a result. Don't bother with that. $304 million more than was authorized. That is important. $304 million was being spent. And what was authorized for 2025? $1.1 billion.
Spending $300 million in excess. And finally, my Straight Dog family, I must leave this with you. It was something one never expected. Because Garth Wilkin had the guts to attack the member from number 5, Sean Richards. And many of us forgot this. My Straight Dog family, we forgot this.
The MP prefers to whine in Culturama or go to Antigua to Carnival rather than doing their parliamentary duty. That is something you should have a conversation with the person about.
And according to Sean, I ain't trouble the man, you know. He troubled me.
When the SSC came to Parliament, Madam Speaker, I was aware I was in Antigua. When I came back, the bill was being debated, and the clerk and deputy clerk can tell you, normally I would leave my stuff downstairs, but I told them because I was away to hold on to it. And so as the bill was being debated, that's when I first saw the bill and began reading it. And so I didn't really have the time to do the research to be able to respond effectively to it. Now there are those who have said I went to Antigua to wind up myself rather than being here to debate the bill. And so the last thing I'm going to say, Madam Speaker, that even if I went to Antigua to wind up myself, at least when I came back, Madam Speaker, nobody could say that I used money that should have been used to pay social security for my nanny to go to Antigua. And nobody could say I made any false declaration and end up in problems with customs. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
And yes, my Straight Dog family, we ask, Did you? Is he aware of anyone who made false declarations to customs? Is the Attorney General aware of anyone who made false declarations to customs? These are some pertinent questions. But as we wrap, my Straight Talk family, as we wrap, as I said, I don't want any ham for Christmas. I don't want any sorrel for Christmas. All I want is a trustworthy government. And trust is built when leaders are accountable. Trust is built when institutions are transparent. And trust is built when citizens refuse to accept corruption as normal. Let's just eradicate this rampant corruption, my Straight Talk family. Let us get rid of it as we move past Christmas into a new year. And my Straight Talk family, this moment calls on us, all of us, leaders and citizens alike, to demand better and to do better. And I was very impressed as well when the former Prime Minister extended greetings to the entire Parliament. I thought I had that queued up. But we are going to extend greetings to our Straight Talk family, my Straight Talk family. We extend greetings for a wonderful Christmas, in spite of all the difficulties. We call on all of us to demand better and to do better. If we choose integrity over indifference and responsibility over excuses, then this wish will no longer appear on a Christmas list. It will become the standard we live by, the future we defend, and the democracy we pass on to the next generation. Then it will no longer be necessary to tell Santa Claus, all I wish for Christmas is a trustworthy government. And that's my story tonight, and I am not going to change it. And like my first caller said, without trust, there can be no loyalty. Without loyalty, there can be no growth. My Straight Talk family, until we connect, just before the new year, keep the 29th in mind, my Straight Talk family. And be good to all whom you meet in the meanwhile. Whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. And first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night, my Straight Talk family. And keep moving on. Merry Christmas again when it comes. Bye-bye, my Straight Talk family.
Praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop.